Hey, Tracy Lewis from Stuff and Things. Guess what day it is today? It is Paper Pumpkin Day. And I'm not going to be weeks late this time. Maybe a couple days. So we just moved from Orlando, Thousand Trails, down south an hour and a half to Peace River Thousand Trails. Which so far between the two, Peace River is still my favorite because it is more rustic and it's got a lot of shade. We were able to get the spot we had 3 weeks ago. The people who were in this spot pulled out as we were pulling in, so that was pretty exciting. We just set up maybe an hour ago, and within 15 minutes of our arrival, I got the text that our mail forward package, which has the paper pumpkin in it, had arrived. And so they like to have people do mail after 2 o'clock because their busy time is around noon when everyone checks in. So I waited the extra half hour till 2 and went and got my paper pumpkin. So there's no driving video because I walked the 100 or so feet to the lodge to get it. The weather here is finally cooling down. It was still really hot and muggy when we hooked up this morning. I think it was between 9 and 10 that we did that. And then here we arrived. It's under a blanket of shade, a whole bunch of trees. So the whole area where we park and like to camp is shady. And then they have a huge area right across from us that breaks out into sun, and all the satellite receiver people like to be in the open space. So I'm very excited. I don't know if I'm going to get to my alternatives today. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And so I will definitely get to the unboxing right now, and we'll do the create. So this month's, it's called To You and Yours. And of course you see it's got the plaid packaging, which we saw the packaging sneak peek. Oh, sorry, Hub is moving. When he moves, we all move. So let's see if we can get this open and see what we've got. I have 0 Christmas cards, by the way. So Orlando, or I should say on stage, was a lot of fun. And I did make 50 swaps and ended up with a variety of swaps back. I don't tend to use swaps for my own cards to give out. I keep them. So that means I'm potentially going to use this box with some extra stuff to make all of my Christmas cards. I thought that might be an interesting challenge and would give people tons and tons of alternatives. So maybe over the next couple of days, I'll do my initial alt video, and then we'll come up with the stages as I make the rest of them. I think I have to make 24 to 30 cards, somewhere in there. Our color is Cherry Cobbler. And our stamps: Happy Holidays, Merry and Bright for you. Merry Christmas to you and yours. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Here's to a Christmas filled with love, laughter, and all you wish for. And we have a sprig and a star. Love them all. Perfect sentiments. Since I only own the 3 Christmas sets that I bought, the Beautiful Blizzard, Spirited Snowman was a 4th one, Merry Christmas to All, and Tags and Tidings. This set that here with these stamps, as nice as they are, is a perfect addition. I love that it's a very colored tissue. Already, it's very pretty. I see wood tones and plaid. Alright, so we have 2 packages of gold sequins. Oh, so this is the threaded linen ribbon. Let me show you what it looks like. It's really, really pretty. What I like about it is that it's so much better than baker's twine You can use it like this, or you can separate it. And when you separate it, you can use the thin threads, sort of like a super thin baker's twine. So I like the usability of this style. So I'm very pleased that that's what they shipped with this. It looks like wood die cuts, circles, big circles, 6 of them, 6 vellum die cuts. I did set aside there's a sheet of dimensionals, 6 wonderful labels with gold foil. I am thinking we get to make I'm counting 5 of this style, which is weird that we have 6s over here. We'll see if I'll look at the cover. So a total of 10 cards. Of course, with our alts, we're going to make them last a lot longer. These actually look like a layer, a vellum layer. Some rectangle, long skinny rectangle wood. 6 rectangle with gold foil. Definitely 10 cards, and the insides of all of these are the same. They're very vanilla, so the accent colors are very vanilla. And it looks like, oh, then we have craft. So 10 craft cardstock bases. We have a bunch of the regular double-sided adhesive and a whole bunch of sprigs. Many sheets of sprigs. Now, here is what the 10 look like. And I will get my pieces taken apart and get ready to make the 2 as per the instructions so that I can get started on the alts. And of course the alts are going to be for me to use. So one of the things I'm going to address is for 2019, because Stampin' Up season, their annual year starts in the fall. So they're in their next year, and they're wanting to focus on the 3 different stampers, and they categorize them as the beginning stamper, the avid stamper, which is the other end of the spectrum, and the casual stamper. So the casual stamper is a little different than the beginning stamper because they have the skills and they might have the supplies, but they tend to like things in kits. So something like this would be a very casual stamper-esque kind of a thing, but it would work perfectly for a beginning stamper as well. So I will try, when I do my alternatives, I might show what a beginning stamper card would look like versus a casual stamper card. But since all of these are going to be my own cards and I am an avid stamper, I will in the end be dressing them all up for sending for myself. So stay tuned and I will be right back. Alright, we're back and I'm ready to do the assembly. I'm going to work on both. First I will work on the dark one just because that's what I grabbed first, and the dark one uses the rectangular bits. And now I'm gonna get to work on number 2. Here is what number 1 looks like. Really cute. Okay, the lighter colored one uses the fishtail long and skinny. So it's the round elements with the thin vellum. And you get to pick which direction. So we do have some directions. I'm going to go vertical on this one. And I'm going to go a little bit lower because you'll see in a second what we have to do. All right. Right, and then that concludes my create, and now I'm going to run off and do some alternatives. I see that I have insides of envelopes, if I wanted, that have no foil. The design goes all the way down to the bottom, so I have, but not all the way to the edge. So I have a card base size piece. These would be really easy to turn into wainscot and just use half. So I could see that. I can see some other fun cuts, and maybe gatefold front cards by cutting them in half vertically. So my brain is already starting to process and think of clever ideas, and of course I want to decide what I'm going to add. I will probably add garden green as a color, and then this darker soft suede, possibly. So I will go away and come back later to share with you what I have come up with. Alright, I am back with 5 alternatives. I created the alternatives 2 ways. I pretty much did a beginning crafter version and then did an overlay of more of an avid crafter. I think that this kit in general, with these 2 samples, is good for the casual crafter because it comes with everything you need. So these again are the 2 that we started with. Oop, there we go. And I don't have them on the bases at the moment. I'm going to use these for my own Christmas cards, so I'm going to be doing some additional things to them, which is why I haven't mounted them yet. Here's what I used. I actually used the scalloped tag and created a couple of tags, and I'm not worried about having extra materials since I know I need to make 24 to 30 cards. What's interesting about this kit is that it is gold, and I am not a gold person, so I actually bought copper and silver for everything for this year for Christmas cards, so it's funny that I end up needing to use gold. So you're going to see some copper and silver mixed in. So I did use the scalloped tag. I used both of our new Christmas holiday catalog embossing folders, the tin tile and the twirls, or curls and twirls. I did grab stitched all around, and I used it just for this little tiny, all of the corners of these wood round stickers were perfect. I wanted stars because the stamp set comes with a star, but alas, I have no stars. So the closest I could come is this small stitched heart. So you'll see where I've used that. I also pulled in the stitched circles right here, and scalloped circles from the layering circles framelits. So for colors, during the create, I grabbed garden green and crushed curry. For my cards that I made, I ended up not using the crushed curry, but I did use garden green here and there. I also did a vellum Merry and Bright. Looks very cute, but I have not found a use for it yet. So now let's get into the first card that I made. And it is a good example. I want to show you one really useful thing for the Stamparatus, that this is for the beginning stamper, as one of the ways to show how the Stamparatus can help them. When I started stamping, again, from the 90s, I stopped stamping for 20 years. And then I came back to stamping, and I ruined cards often because my hands aren't very good. So I bought what's called a MISTI, which I call it version 1 of the stamp alignment tools. So when one of the limits, my mom and I both use a MISTI, and our limits are when my mom really likes to decorate the inside of her cards, and she finds it frustrating because the MISTI is a box. It has 4 sides, and your card goes and sits inside it. Unless you own a really big MISTI, you are stuck having a difficult time getting the inside stamped. So what I really love about the Stampin' Up! Stamparatus is that you can take the tool, and I moved this so it's no longer going to be aligned, and you only have 2 sides with the door and open sides top on the side and the bottom. So this is my simple or beginning stamper card, simply using the stamps provided with my extra garden green, and I ended up with a boo-boo up here, a little bit of the cherry cobbler stamped up here somehow. So I thought, okay, and this is what a beginning stamper will learn, is that you can just cover up your mistakes very easily by adding more to it. So this is a full front, 2 colors. You could add a bow, you can add your sequins, and I have another option for this that I'll show in a minute, because right now I want to show stamping the inside with the Stamparatus for the people like my mom who really love to doctor up their inside. So you can have the card open off the edge, which is awesome, and that's what I call the version 1 stamp alignment tools. That's a weakness that they have. And then I really like this sentiment. I will be using it for all of my cards. And instantly you have the inside stamped perfectly, no mistakes, and repeats. So, you know, when you line it up, probably ideally the way to line it up would be butted up in the corner, so that you can just take all of your cards when you're done and go through in a production line and get them all stamped. So I just wanted to show that off for a beginning stamper, and something that I really appreciate about the Stamparatus. I wanted to show you what I ended up doing for, it's this one. So I created this little add-on. It is popped up with dimensionals, and it fits perfectly over. So this card instantly, the way it is, becomes a, I would say, casual or avid stamper card just by the addition of this. I will be adding more. I haven't decided what the more is. Certainly sequins could be added easily enough, but I created for every card, so this is my first card that shows the beginner version and then the more advanced version. The second card, I just made it even more simple and didn't make any mistakes. Put a couple of sequins that if I were to use this card as is as a beginning stamper, I always do things in odd numbers for balance, and so I would have a sequin over here somewhere. But for me, if I am to use this card, I just wouldn't send it this way, and so I created a little doodad to add over here to the side. To dress this up. Trying to figure out with the bow the way it is where I would put that exactly. Probably like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I might dress this up even more before I send it out. This is the full card size, so I can't have my sprig hanging out over the edge, but there's the finished card. My third one starts out as a beginner card. This is just a card front, not the full card base, so it could be trimmed down, which is what I would do, and then I would have a very thin border of the same color. This is the very vanilla, and then I would add sequins, probably one here at the sprig and another one here at the sprig, but I will not use this card this way, so I have already given it the dress-up version. So I will be adding this, and I decided for some reason that I liked, so the embossing folder goes this way and it goes this way, and I like it this way, so I will take that down, and then its particular more advanced stamper, either casual or avid, would use something like this. And so I will get that all taped down, and that is my second alternative. I guess it's my third. I'm already on my third alternative, if you can believe that. For my fourth one, I grabbed my silver cardstock trim. This is from the holiday catalog, and it comes in silver and gold, and of course I like silver, so I bought silver, and it has the matching envelopes. So this, as it is, and I do have silver sequins, so a silver sequin or two would make this a perfect beginning stamper card ready to mail. For me, I went ahead and created another dimensional topper, and it is gold, so this has gold and silver on it. And I already have a bow here. I want to add a long tendrily bow right here where the two colors meet. And keep in mind that this actually came with the kit, so it already is mixing the white with the very vanilla. So that is card number 4. I really enjoyed making these add-on pieces so that I could show you a beginning card. I would never send a beginner card, so I knew that whatever I made had to actually cover whatever it was that I had on the beginner card. So that's how this all came about, and it's probably how I'm going to be doing all of my paper pumpkins from now on. So that is card number 4. And then the 5th card, I have a couple of examples. It was a fail. So this is me creating a potential beginning stamper card, color on color, and it just doesn't show up very well. I even sponged the edges. And I did a stamp off of the Merry and Bright, so I have a repeat. I can see it, but I just don't think that a beginning stamper wouldn't be satisfied with this. So this is an example of something that just doesn't work. It would have to be redone on, you know, perhaps the Very Vanilla if they had some. Or the same could be done on the silver. I even tried looking at seeing if that dressed it up enough. So this red cardstock just isn't going to make the cut, and that's okay. So I did make a cover for it. So all I'm going to do is flip it over and add this topper that I made that is for either the casual stamper or an avid stamper. This to me is more casual level. And then I also then created another back for this that is more of an avid stamper that I think is more to my level. This is something I do have the shimmer paint, and I will be decorating the back of the green tin tile embossing before I call this one finished. And of course I told you I didn't have gold, so I used my copper foil. I probably will change these sequins out for I have the metallics, so I have copper. So this will need more work to be completely finished, but that is my 5th alternative, and I will do another installment as I make more of my Christmas cards. I'll do another video. What I plan on adding for myself is I do have the Merry Christmas to All set, and I have the Spirited Snowmen that will be perfect with this plaid. So I will be working on that. I've already got the Spirited Snowmen cut out. I just didn't want to spend the time to color them for this particular installment because I want to get it processed and loaded up for you guys. And if anybody is currently not with a Demonstrator and you would like to get back to Paper Pumpkin, I have all of my Paper Pumpkin links and would love to be your demonstrator, so feel free to explore that. If you have any questions, you can email me. And I hope you enjoyed my Paper Pumpkin. That was more timely this month than last month's, and I had a ball doing it and can't wait to get to work on all of my Christmas cards. So now let's set these out so you guys can have a final look at all of them. I don't even know if they all will fit. I think that these two, as the kit prescribes making them, are really, really pretty. So let's see if we're going to have enough room here. So this is the beginning version, and there's the casual or avid version. This one I already dressed it up. It may or may not stay folded, but this is like a clean and simple. There are people who are still clean and simple as their preference. This one, there's its clean and simple design for the beginning stamper, and then it is going to be dressed up like that. And I'm not done yet. I have, let's see if we can squeeze it in here and still show it. I have this clean and simple design that would work fine with just sequins, or you can add this, and I would love that card. That card, I think, with some sequins would be perfect. And that is all. Thanks for watching.